welcome to the inspired word at Le Poisson Rouge. If you are talking with an unfamiliar group of men, and everyone is sharing anecdotes, it is better to tell them that you have beaten another man half to death than that you have loved one. The story of the fight should have details lush as the underside of a tongue. They'll want to hear the dull knock when his head bounced against the curb. Did his face clench, or just settle into your fist like a catcher's mitt? Was there a wet rip of skin under your boots? Could you feel his teeth scrape against your knuckles? The story of loving a man is another matter entirely. If, for some reason, you do end up talking about it, it should just be the fucking. The act should have all the tender necessity of an ATM withdrawal. Just an off-getting of rocks, a kinked nut rubbed out. Don't talk about the comfortable weight of his head in your lap, the way his face held a too goofy grin and then fell to calm slack. Do not claim to know anything about the snug settle of hairy leg over hairy leg, the soothe of being on the receiving end of razor burn. Even if you tell a very good story about the fight, it will not become your defining characteristic unless you tell it many times. This is not true if you say you've loved a man. That's a story you need only tell once. So, y'all take the subway. You know the posters for the new Stallone movie that is just like a whole bunch of brolic dudes with guns and paramilitary gear, like standing there in black and white. And if it weren't for the one black guy and the one Asian guy, shit would look like a Klan rally. You know? Just saying. So this is, I write a lot about violence and masculinity, and particularly how it's imagined in our cinematic consciousness. And so this is just a short little, these are the rules that I have seen. These are the rules for on-screen engagement. If the hero is a white man, he can kill anyone who has wronged him. In addition, he can kill everyone who happens to be nearby, provided they don't have any lines of dialogue. A white woman can kill, but only in defense of herself, her children, or her man. If she kills, for any other reason, she cannot be the hero, and must be punched in the face at least once by another white woman. A black woman will rarely kill as hero or villain, but will always say something funny in the first act. A black man can only kill something more black or monstrous than himself, and must say something funny as soon as he does it. The notebook is standard issue school marble. On the inside cover, she's written the names of all of her friends killed this year, so far. At least a dozen deep, each with a birth and death date not more than 20 years apart. My first thought is an odd jealousy. White people don't make memorial t-shirts for their young dead. When I was her age, I made sure no adult in my blast radius noticed when someone I loved dissolved in my fingers. There are few things I believe in that I cannot hold, but one is the promise of the written word. That which rattles in us like a bullet in a glass jar can be silenced if we fill it with our own sound. There is power in what locks trauma to a page. It is the pull of a splinter from under a nail, a show to the small and immediate world, the similarities between all palms. I am staring at the notebook. She has decided to never throw herself another birthday party because someone was shot at the last one. My feelings on this are irrelevant. She wants to know what I think of the poem. So I tell her. It's good. But this part where you say, the funeral felt like a quiet nightmare, you could get more specific. It should be clear to someone who has never been here exactly what this feels like.